You're listening to Z on the Rise and Shine. The program, as you know, it starts slow and then it progresses. This is the essence of Ramadan. Everything is very, very calm, patient, cool. And then we progress as the day goes along. Lots of things are happening. Guys, this is what I want to share with you. All of you who are driving right now, doing the school run, or you're simply driving to work. Now, you'll know that children experience a sentiment of total enthusiasm you would say about 20 times a day. Now, adults, they struggle to even get 5 times a day enthusiasm. So here today on the radio, we're going to make sure that all of you are on top form and you are smiling, happy and laughing. That's our aim today. That's what we're going to do. So, of course, that is very difficult to do because you got Rosa and you are all half asleep. And today is day 6. Day 6 for some, day 5 for others, and day 7 for somebody else. But here at the radio, we are at day 6 of Ramadan. Time is just flying by extremely fast, and we don't know how we are missing out if we don't use that time real wise. Now, we have some wonderful guests coming in throughout the day and a lot of the good programs, and that's what I'd like you to look forward to. Today we'll be having a very good learned gentleman. His name is George Merchant Ballentyne. He's been around the Leicester scene since 1924 and longer. So we're going to talk to him, and he's going to talk to us about the faith communities. This week our theme was all around the COVID-19 and how it has impacted lives. So each week we have a different theme that we are focusing on. Next week we'll be focusing on education and health. And the week after, which is week 3 of Ramadan, we'll be focusing on racism and all the issues that are connected with racism, which is equality, diversity, inclusion, what we have often experienced across the board, historic, institutional, systemic racism. So that is going to be our theme week 3. Week 4, you're just going to have to wait for that one yet. Of course, how do we function here at the radio? It's difficult. It is not easy. You're coordinating up to 40 presenters throughout the month. They come, they go, and going through all the show plans, going through all the guests, and it's not an environment where you're doing this on professional basis. Everybody here comes here as a volunteer. They give their time, and the most precious, valuable commodity you have is your time, the time that you give to your community. To those who are not as fortunate as you is the time that will benefit you the most. And that is what I would like to emphasize, that all of those people who are involved here at the radio, they are absolutely greatly appreciated. Now we come, we do a program and we go. So I myself, I don't even know who all the presenters are, what their names are, where they're from. Each year you have a different set, and many faces I do recognize because they've been with us here before. But generally, you always have, all the time the radio is pushing for younger people. So brothers and sisters, you are listening right now to Z on the Rise and Shine program this morning on Ramadan Radio 87.7 FM. Of course, here sometimes they just say 87 point. Well, it's not just 87 point, it is 87.7 FM. That's what you can tune in on your radio in your car, right? And you can call us even on 0116-482-2086. And then the text and WhatsApp number is 077-488-55055. And you can listen in online as well on ramadan.fm. Or if you are at work, you can email us on info@ramadan.fm. And of course, you can easily go on the iTunes and download iOS or on your Android app on your smartphone and there is many ways to reach and listen in on radio of new, radio of old. You could not do that, and now you have so many options how to listen in on radio, not only here with Ramadan radio 87.7 FM, but you can listen across the world to any radio station that you choose to do so. So that's these are all the options available. Get with it, get with technology, or get left far behind. That is where you are today with anything that you embrace. So we've had calls from India, from Pakistan, from all over the globe. And the particular topic we were yesterday listening to is Eva, the story of Eva, victim of war, a refugee who has fled from Ukraine like many others. And this topic is ongoing. It's trending every day. Lots of messages coming in. And I want to share one message with you that there are many people. This message is quite sad, really. They are scared to publicize themselves. It says there are people who cannot be critical of anything to do with the war because they get ostracized. When war happens, people are polarized and aligned in different camps, and it is natural animal behavior. We are only animals with a bigger brain, but most of our actions are controlled by a small reptilian organ at the joint between the spinal cord and the head. This is a message that came yesterday. Now have a think about that. It is quite the fact the world over. There's wars that happen across the globe. Now yesterday, I gave you all what we call a sabak, right? I told you, go and make a list of war-torn countries at present. Wars are happening all over. Another message I received here is that in Yemen, UNICEF have confirmed in a lot of their writings that up to 12 million children are in danger of severe poverty. 12 million, that is so many people, right? And then you have the Syrian war, which is the second deadliest war in the 21st century. Yemen, only in 2019, experienced 20,000 deaths. That is Yemen. Then there's wars happening in Somalia, in Libya, and you just can't keep up. War-torn areas all over the world right now. There's up to 10 plus areas. Of course, do they get a look in? No, they don't. That is why another message came to us yesterday was the Ukraine issue started in 2014. In the east side, there were a lot of people who were being attacked, who were being ethnic cleansed, as you would say, and the people in the west side of Ukraine were doing this to the people on the east side. And at that time, nobody was raising an eyebrow, and Russia got involved to start to help them, and the regime change kicks in from both sides, and here we go. This is the problem now. People are not fully aware all those incidents that were happening. Today, those same people in the east are hiding, scared for their lives, and their children had gone through a period where they was living in basements, and the west side was absolutely annihilating them. So this is a message that came in, and many are afraid to come forward with their names or identifications because they're afraid to be persecuted, and this is the face of war. So it's not going to stop today. Certainly, I don't have the formula to make it stop or to effect change, but we all collectively can do something about this. What can we do? Is collectively we have to write to our MP, emphasize to our Member of Parliament that this is not the solution for the future. If young people of today are indoctrinated to be told that this is common and this is acceptable, then they will carry on, and we will not see a change in our humanity, in our solidarity, or in our unity. We will continue with all the bad habits of past. So if we are to effect change, we all have to do this collectively. We have to do it together. So all of you who agree with me, I want you right now to put your right hand up if you agree, right? And that is what I want you to do, because you need to get interactively involved. Apart from putting your right hand up and stretching and having a bit of exercise, it will start your detoxification. That is spiritually, mentally, and physically. Of course, that is to do with the 3Ds. Those of you who have remembered your sabak, what is the 3Ds? The 3Ds, discipline, direction, detoxification, that's what you need to do. All of us, throughout the month of Ramadan, you do discipline. Now, yesterday, when we always ask you every day that I want you to give me your version of the 3Ds and some good nasihas, and I got a message yesterday which was quite interesting, which is not quite the same as the 3Ds, but very similar. Here it goes. Root of devotion. Number 1, wake up in the morning. What do you call that? You call that fajr. Early hours of the morning. Second is root of action. You go through your salah, you read your Quran. And number 3 is root of knowledge. That root of knowledge is very much to do with your detoxification. When you're reading your Quran, you're empowering yourself with some knowledge. If you can do the tafsir, which is to understand what you're reading, and that will be much better. And then finally, it says, if you join all those three together, it means the chosen route. Now you're full of knowledge, and you can show that in expression in your daily actions. So that's what it's all about. And that was a very good reply from one of the listeners, that this is their version of it. Of course, everyone has a different experience. So if you also would like to share with the radio and tell us about, well, what is your mantra during the month of Ramadan? We here at the radio are saying it's the 3Ds: discipline, direction, detoxification. That is what we are saying here at the radio, but you will also have your opinion on that. So let us know and let us share. Of course, you can call us on 0116-482-2086, or you can text or WhatsApp on 077-48-855-055. So we are looking forward to hearing from you, and each day we have a wonderful guest. And this week we are focusing on COVID and the response and recovery. And I'm looking for all of you to let me know if you have some people that went through COVID and how they survived in that difficult period. So I'm particularly looking to hear from people who were on the ventilator and they went through a process where they were not at all sure that they're going to come through it. And some stories I heard were absolutely harrowing. So please do let us get connected with these people, talk to them, and listen to their journey, and find out if you know anybody in your circle, in your friends, anybody that we can talk to, and they can explain to us their journey, what they felt, and how they have gone through this difficult period of COVID. Now, not to say that this period is over, not at all. We are now having to live with it. So if you all remember, COVID started in October in Wuhan in China. But at the time, nobody here in England or the rest of the world took heed of the implications that would follow thereafter. Nobody could even think about it or imagine. So November went by, December went by, and I'm going to bring you back to a period of January, February 2019, when one friend told me, I'm going away. I'm going to go live on my uncle's farm because that is where I'm going to find peace, and I'm going to be away from what's coming next. And I said, what's coming next? Tell me. And she explained to me that what's coming next is not going to be very pleasant at all. I think this COVID that has started in China is going to change our lives forever. And I can never forget that, because that was like period 2019 around February. And in March is one of the first lockdowns that started upon us, where March 2019. So we went through all of 19 from March onwards. We went through 20. We went through 21. Now that is almost 3 years. So today we're almost at 3 years of COVID when it first impacted the UK. Now, in the midst of all of this, remember that even today, with all the restrictions having been lifted, we have an issue still. We were told only last week that up to 5 million people have tested positive. That is the people that have been recorded. But what about all those who have not? So today, potentially, it's there. It's everywhere. It's a virus that the eye cannot see. And that is what we are all up against right now. So by no means, don't relax. Don't think, oh, it's all over. It's done and dusted. No, it's going to take some more time. I don't know exactly how long, but we have new variants coming in. We're going through the alphabet, the Greek alphabet, that is, and that is what's happening. So got a message here just now. I went through heavy breathing problems. Allah saved me. I was one of the first ones to get in 2019 December. I picked it up from a travel lodge. It was hard, but I got through it with Allah's help. Jazakallah khair for that message. So there are many, many messages like that I'd like to share with you. And please do keep them coming in, because I want to share the stories. I need to hear about these stories that happened so that other people are aware. And of course, we make du'as for all of the people that they don't go through the process of what is called long-term COVID, because on Sunday, when our resident doctor comes on at 10 o'clock, Dr. Saima will explain to us more about the COVID and the impact upon our society, right? So common long COVID symptoms, they include extreme tiredness, fatigue, shortness of breath, chest pain, tightness, problems with memory and concentration, what we call a brain fog, right? Your brain just goes to sleep, difficulty in sleeping, heart palpitations, dizziness, pins and needles, joint pain, depression and anxiety, feeling sick, diarrhea, stomach aches, loss of appetite, a high temperature, cough, headaches, sore throats, changes to senses of smell or taste, and rashes. Now, that is a very long list, but you will think that maybe I've just got a flu, but these are the effects of long-term COVID. So by no means relax to think that it's all over. It's done and dusted only because the government have lifted the restrictions. Ultimately, there had to come a time when the government had no choice but to lift the restrictions, but by no means think that it's all done and dusted and we're back on track again. We have to be more vigilant, more careful, and just appreciate the dunya that we are still here living and breathing. So that is very important. Emphasize to you all, and please do keep your messages coming in. And the Ukraine story from yesterday has brought a very, very strong response, which I'm going to share with you. And as the messages come in, so I've been asked here that please continue programs concerning Ukraine, because the essence of Ukraine is, the question remains on the table, is why in 26 days of Ukraine war, the whole of England has been mesmerized at the expense of all the other refugees that are fleeing from other war-torn countries like Syria and Yemen. Why? Everybody's asking this question. Of course, this question I need you to write into your MPs and ask them the same question, and they're the ones who can effect change. And don't not stop. We're trying very hard now to engage you with your MP. Email him. You don't have to write a letter. You don't have to post that letter. You don't have to go to the post office, buy a stamp. Those days are long gone. You can email your MP and communicate with him by email and ask him these questions and let him answer them for you, because that is the way forward. And I'd like you to do that, please. If they don't know, and if they have constituents in their area who are half asleep and don't pass comment, then they themselves will also become half asleep and not active. They won't be working for you. They'll be busy with other projects on the table. So your councillor, your MP is there for you, is working for you. So please engage and get used to them. Otherwise, we won't know. So, like, for example, somebody is asking me about John Ashworth, the MP, in the area that we are in Evington. And you can go on Google. You can easily find out his contact. His office is on 60 Charles Street. Look how fast I've given you that information, right? He opens at 9 a.m. His surgery is one of the days in the week. And you can call him. You can call him on 0116-251-1927. Now, what the procedure is, he won't be there, but his PA will answer, and they'll tell you the way forward, right? So if we can put up his email, I can let them know. Of course, there are MPs all around Leicester, in the Leicester region. So you got to get politically aware with knowing what's going on in your community, like who are all the MPs in the city, who are all the MPs in the county. You must know this, because this is your engagement with your community. What is the social structure? What is the fabrication in the community? How is the community run? How do you engage with your councillor? And discuss with them. The council are extremely keen to build a partnership with the community and with the commercial world as well. So your party representation: Conservatives, 7 seats; Labour, 2 seats; Independents, 1 seat. And that is the party representation across Leicester. So we have blue for Conservatives, red for Labour, yellow we have for the Lib Dems, and we have green for the Green Party. So that is how they're color coordinated. Why they're color coordinated? Because it is absolutely easy for you to recognize them with colors. A little bit like school, children, they take green one, put it in the green box, put the yellow one into the yellow box. That's how it works, right? So this is another message. My mom was one of the first ones to contract COVID. She was in ICU for 3 weeks and almost lost her. But alhamdulillah, she pulled through. She suffers from long COVID, swelling on heart, palpitations, rash on body, very tired, and still struggles to sleep. So this is quite sad, but keep these messages coming, because I want people to know that it's by no means over. We still have a long way to go. We got to find out with awareness that all these people who are suffering from long COVID, how they can be on the mend. Now, the current variant, the Omicron, is it's a mild variant, not like the very first one, but this is going to be ongoing. Now, don't forget, the other subject that I gave you all was the A to Z. The A to Z is A for alcohol tax, B for which tax does the letter B donate, which letter is a C, D, E, and keep on going right to the Z. And when we started this yesterday, the best answer came that the best of these alphabet letters is the letter Z. Not because it is Z, me here doing the program. It is because Z is for zakat. Z-A-K-A-T. Now I'm going to share with you a very interesting story, what happened yesterday. So before we have guests, we do a little telephone call with them. We do a little discussion with them. We do a little interview with them. So I'm going to share this story with you after our break in the next minute or two. And this is a very interesting story which inspired me greatly. I'm going to share that with you. So don't forget, after the ad break, I'm going to share that story with you about the zakat test is very important for all of us, right? So the best of taxes is zakat, which is 2.5% of your income that you are going to earn throughout the year to pay towards alleviating poverty across the globe. And that is what the zakat tax is all about. So I want you all to understand that. So your A to Z of taxes, all the taxes that you pay here in England, that the best of them is the one you pay for zakat, which is the last one, the letter Z. So if you tell me which tax that you know about, which starts from which letter, then we're going to start ticking them off. Of course, this by no means means that all those MPs sitting in Parliament, that if there's a letter missing with no tax denoted to it, that they go and create one between now and Ramadan. But this is awareness for all of us. So brothers and sisters, Jazakallah khair for listening to me on this first session, and I'll be looking forward to joining you straight